Hi again. I would like to talk about a well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Well, what does that mean? Um, I think the government decided that it meant that we needed a military. Not that I'm saying we don't. We do. We really do. I think the point we missed is that in order to have a gun, we need to be trained to use it in a military way. Now, look, I grew up in northern Nevada in a very, conservative community, and part of graduating fifth grade required that everybody learned how to use weapons safely. This should have never been stopped in any school, anywhere. But in thinking about the militia and in thinking about what our founding fathers actually meant by that phrase, the well regulated militia and the right to bear arms, I think to many of the Nordic nations, like Finland, for example, where as soon as the population comes of age, they're sent to be trained in military service. Um, they have a standing army at an instant's notice. Every citizen would be available to fight on the word of their government. Why aren't we doing this? I mean, isn't it part of the gun ownership that perhaps you should serve in the militia? And what is the militia? The militia is the National Guard. It is part of the United States military. The National Guard trains you to be militia. It trains you how to use the guns safely and against an enemy of the country. We are always ripe for invasion. I don't care what anybody says. Doesn't matter how strong your military is, as if your citizenry isn't ready. Now look, I understand a lot of people don't think that they should be forced to serve, and I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. The Second Amendment basically says if you want a gun, you have to serve. This obvious thing has been somehow lost to time. Look, we send these poor trial adults out into society. We say no drinking, no smoking, no gambling, no this, no that. They're not even treated as real adults. All they've been given is the right to vote and get tattoos. All of the young people that I've talked to have said the same thing. They felt ill prepared for the world they were thrown into. And let's face it, high school does not prepare you to be an adult. This is my suggestion. This is what I believe we should do, and perhaps even something the founding fathers meant in the first place. When people turn 18, they should be either put into the National Guard for training, not for overseas service, but for training and for readiness in cases of national emergency, which we are having quite often lately, or given the choice of civil service. But if they wish to have a gun, they still have to receive the weapons training. The services would pay them for the work they do. They would be given housing. They would be given experience, training, and the ability to enter the world as full adults at age 21. Between the ages of 18 and 20, they would be wards of the state. They would be separated from their families so that they could learn how to become citizens, how to become part of this country, how to defend, protect, and help this country in times of crisis. That is what our founding fathers meant. That Now, I can see a place for religious exemptions, and I can see place for, people saying, I absolutely refuse to do that. I just want to go out into the world of work. Here's the deal. If you give 3 years of service, you can have 2 years of education in either a trade school or a college, completely paid for by the GI Bill. You will be ready at age 21 to either go to school or go to work. If you choose the education, then it will give you a better edge in the trade that you desire to go into. And if you wish to go further, then I think for things we need, like let's say nurses, doctors, I don't know. I mean, all those things we need, engineers, mathematicians. We should offer grants that encourage people to educate themselves in that direction. And I think for those that have student loan debt, instead of just saying, oh, well, we'll forgive all student debt, we should look at the possibility of people kind of serving off that debt in small ways, in government participation, in time they put in at their local elections offices, in time they put into the community, like let's say those veterans events that happen every year, or anything really to pay down their debt by working for society, for doing volunteer work, for helping. That would be a good thing. It would be fiscally responsible, and it would be socially responsible. And I think that we need to start gearing our people, our populace up for success, for economic success, so that their success translates to the world as a whole, to the good of the country. I believe in capitalism. I believe in the need for people to feel employed in a positive way, to spend their time doing things that are important, and to be paid for the things they do, so that they can build a better life for themselves and their families. I think we need to look at creating better citizens, citizens that are ready for this country, citizens that are geared towards success. And I would like you to consider these things. I believe we can build a better nation together. Thank you, and God bless.